Hello and welcome to the channel. This is Steel City Knives. Right, we're taking part in an open tag today. This is Way Back Wednesday, started by the Warthog channel. That's Rick over there. Brilliant open tag. I love this one, and yeah, just thought I'd get involved. So this just arrived today, so I thought I'd show you it. So what do we have here? We have a fruit knife. So completely different animal to a normal pocket knife, but quite an interesting one, a bit different to show. And I feel myself another rabbit hole coming on because these are, I paid like 30 odd pounds for this. So this is a Way Back Wednesday because it was made in 1905. So it's 118 years old, soon to be 119 years old. And look at it, absolutely stunning. Absolutely brilliant. So, what are fruit knives? Fruit knives were made sort of in the late 1700s. They were really popular, and there's loads of them on the market still. And they are called a fruit knife because they were made for eating your fruit with. But what we have here is sterling silver. So silver was the stainless steel of the day, I suppose. So it wouldn't corrode. So obviously, when they were eating sort of fruit being really acidic would corrode and mess up the steel of the day, so they used to use silver. Obviously silver wouldn't corrode. Silver's got also good properties. It's very antibacterial, so it kills bacteria, viruses and things like that, so has other good properties to have on a blade. But yeah, I love these things, and I tell you why I love these things. They're very easy to find out the information on because of these marks here, these hallmarks. So, Sheffield knives in general are very hard to date at certain periods. It wasn't always the case. So, if you just take a normal tang stamp, it's usually hard to date the exact time it was made. Obviously, you know the manufacturer. But back in the day, they used to have a cutler's register, and they used to have a cutler's stamp, and that would help you to find out a bit about who made it and the date and things like that. Now, this is, I suppose, a silversmith register, but it works in exactly the same way. So these stamps tell you something. So what we've got is a crown, a line, an N, and a JN, space, and then a JN. So what do these mean? So the crown is the Sheffield mark. So this is made in Sheffield. The lion means sterling silver. The N is the date, and that's 1905. And the JN is the maker, which is John Nowell, or J. Nowell, as the company was named. It was actually Joe Nowell and Sons at one period as well. So it's got really rich history, sort of J. Nowell, definitely. And we could go into a massive amount of detail, but we won't. But I'll give you a couple of little history nuggets, as I like to do. So one big thing about them, they was actually sued by Joseph Rogers, and it went in Joseph Rogers' favour for counterfeiting. But shortly after they were sued, they won two massive awards, and one of them was at the 1851 exhibition, the Great Exhibition. And I didn't know a great deal about that, but researching this knife, I found out quite a bit about it, and that in itself is an engineering feat. It was an amazing thing that was sort of made. It was created by Henry Cole and Prince Albert being obviously the husband of Queen Victoria at the time, and they made a world fair. The world fairs were massive back then, but this was a fair to sort of, it was the works of industry of all nations, so it was a massive thing, and a lot of really important people came. Some of the people that came were Charles Darwin, Karl Marx, Michael Faraday, Samuel Colt. Samuel actually released the 1851 Colt Navy at the fair. Charles Dickens. So it was a massive event, and it was a brilliant structure, and I'll show you. Obviously, I've got some pictures on the screen at the moment. Unfortunately, it was lost in 1936. A fire destroyed it. It was a temporary structure, and they actually moved it, and that's when the fire occurred. Shortly after, I think, where they moved it. But yeah, brilliant exhibition. Looked phenomenal. And that's where they picked up an award, this company, for cutlery. And they didn't just make fruit knives, they made all sorts of stuff. They actually won an award in 1855 at a Paris exhibition as well. So a really phenomenal company. And like I say, didn't just make fruit knives, made cutlery as well. But yeah, so these marks are really easy to, and they're usually really prominent. So quite easy to date and work out where it was made and all the rest of it. So why does Sheffield have this crown? I wasn't too fazed by that, but there were two big sort of manufacturing cities that made fruit knives, and the other one was Birmingham. Now, Birmingham's stamp is actually an anchor. Now, if you know anything about Birmingham, Birmingham is in the Midlands, just down the road from me, and I can't believe that they used an anchor. I thought, why are they using an anchor? We're not near the sea or anything like that. So I did a bit of digging, and it's a brilliant story. So basically, when they signed contracts for these fruit knives, Sheffield and Birmingham representatives, they met with London, and they met in a tavern in the Strand called the Crown and Anchor. And that's so they met in a pub, basically, and the pub's name was the Crown and Anchor. So they flipped a coin, and one of them had the crown and one of them had the anchor as the stamp. But it was later on changed a while into history, and they didn't always have that. But I just thought that was a cool story, to be fair, you know, sort of meeting in a pub, and that's where those stamps came from. But yeah, it's like I say, it's so easy to. I'll show you that register now. So if you get one, obviously they were big in America. America made some as well, and I assume they had their own stamps. But yeah, so affordable to pick up, and just a cool part of history to have. But just look at it. So they didn't all just have these silver blades. They had some had different tools as well. So some had a what they call a seed pick, and I'll show you a picture of that now. A bit more rarer they are, and some even had forks as well. And again, I found one the other day. I nearly went for to pick that one up. I think I'd like one of each, and then I'll call it a day. But yeah, they usually got mother of pearl. Sometimes they're just all silver, sterling silver cases. But a majority of them that I found have this mother of pearl, and they're just stunning. As you can see, there's got a pinned shield there, and sometimes you'll find it's sort of the name of the person that owned it in them, but this one hasn't. But yeah, you can see how it's pinned there. But the mother of pearl is it's not lost any of its luster at all. And what I've learned about mother of pearl, I just did a bit of research how to keep it nice, and they say don't use any harsh chemicals, just use water. But yeah, it looks absolutely phenomenal and still in brilliant condition. But look at that back spring as well. And they're all really ornate and really beautiful pieces when you look around, and so affordable, really. If you think it's probably worth that just in the scrap of the silver, but it's got a bit of a bent blade. It's very flimsy. I could snap this probably in two, and it doesn't sit completely into the blade well, as you can see there. It's quite proud, but you've got to give it credit. It's 118 years old, so. But yeah, absolutely fine piece, and just something a bit different really to show the channel. But I was quite looking forward to picking one up. But yeah, I can see this as being a bit of a rabbit hole, I think. Maybe pick up a couple more in the collection. But yeah, just something different. I just thought I'd show that with everybody and jump on here and say hello to Rick. So, okay, right. Good seeing you all. Good seeing you all. I'll see you on the next one. See you later.